Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas, home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
And we're back.
No, we're not back.
Well, we're back for another round of podcasts.
I'm back. You're not back.
Oh, technically, yeah, you are back.
You never went away.
No, I'm always here.
You are.
Like a bad penny. Always turning up.
Stuck like Chuck.
Yep.
So I got to be Dave on a stick for a week.
You did.
It was awesome.
For a week, now you're off the stick.
On the schneid, off the stick.
Yeah, where were you?
I was in the great state of Arizona.
That's great. Arizona State.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Well, hey, Fort Huachuca, we stopped there because I, was there as a soldier a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Went back, actually got lost on post.
Wow.
Well, everything changed. There was no, even with GPS, I'm like, which way am I going? Yeah. Yeah, I got kind of lost. And then, let's see. I got to see the Brewers in Phoenix.
Oh, that's cool.
Milwaukee Brewers. Yay. Go Cheesehead, all that stuff. Because I am a big baseball fan, as you are too.
I am, but
you are only a fan of a single player. Explain that, Charlie.
I like Pete Rose. I have liked Pete Rose for like forever.
Charlie Hustle.
And before I liked Pete Rose, I liked Darryl Strawberry. So I've got a whole line of winners there.
That's kind of strange.
It is. Oh, Darryl Strawberry was the reason I got interested in baseball.
Really?
Was flipping channels one day.
Yeah.
Came on to an Atlanta Braves, probably either Atlanta or Chicago, one of the two, because those were the two channels we had in Kansas that had baseball on them.
Well, they had to be playing the Mets.
Yeah, they were playing the Mets,
okay.
And it was sort of towards the end of the game, and there was an outfielder, and his name came up on the screen, and it said Darryl Strawberry, and I thought, hey, that's a neat name. I think I'll like the Mets.
Strawberry Fields forever.
This guy's named Strawberry. Probably the stupidest reason to follow any sport ever. But that's what got me into baseball.
Yeah.
And
if you're in Kansas, who are you going to root for? Come on.
Well, Kansas, right? They'd say the Royals, but
really,
I think the Royals stink.
Well,
and then they default to the Cardinals when the Royals aren't doing well, which is most of the time. Hear that, Kansas?
Yeah.
But I got lucky because that was 1986. And in 86, the Mets went all the way and won it all. So it was magical for me. Yeah. And then the next year, in between the 86, 87 season, I dumped the Mets completely and somehow became enamored with Pete Rose. Actually, I think it was because of baseball cards.
Oh, yeah.
In the 1986 top set, they had, because Pete Rose had broken the big 4192 hit record, they had a series of cards. They had a record breaker card. Sure. He had a regular baseball player card. He had a manager card.
Hit King.
And then they had these a card series called the Pete Rose Years, which showed every Pete Rose baseball card from 1963 to 1985. And I think seeing that much Pete Rose made me think, hey, this is a special guy. And I, kids, you want to like a winner.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to go with this Pete Rose guy. I like him. And it was like a few months into my liking of Pete Rose that he announced his retirement. I can remember that day. I was so downtrodden that the guy I liked ended up retiring. He was just going to be a manager. And then A few years he was kicked out of baseball altogether. And
Yep.
that day, Bart Giamatti announced it on TV. It was live, carried live.
Banned.
And I was at home watching it, throwing stuff at the TV screen.
Wow.
In my mind, that name, Bart A. Giamatti, is a dirty word in my mind.
Back to Arizona, though.
Yes,
I did
Arizona.
do something for the wife.
Okay,
right?
what was that?
I mean, we were gone a week. The wife likes jewelry, right? And we did leave on Valentine's Day to fly there. So there was some, a little romance, blah, blah. But I did take her to a mining town about 10 miles north of the Mexican border. And a little place called Bisbee.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Yeah. Which is only 20 miles from Fort Huachuca. That whole little triangle, Cochise County, it's really cool. Also, Tombstone is 20 miles from there as well, right?
Okay.
So we go there, we do the mine tour thing. I buy her some turquoise, silver that was mined out of the place. It's all, artisan-made stuff. So, she got her thing. And I got to go to Tombstone, too, and see an actual gunfight. So, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was on my bucket.
Wait, hold on now. Hold on.
That was on my bucket list.
Hold on. You've been deployed more than once.
No,
You've
man.
seen combat. You've
Wild
seen real
West. Come on. You don't like Wyatt Earp stuff
telling
and all
me
that? Yeah.
Baghdad wasn't the Wild West?
Well, yeah, but, it didn't have Kurt Russell.
No, that's true. It had Rob Schneider.
True. And Robin Williams.
No, and I think though that the West is so much more picturesque than Baghdad.
Yeah.
Everyone out there who agrees with me, raise your hand.
Oh yeah, I can see them all now.
Hands across America.
Exactly. But hey, it was fun. I know I promised to call in, and when we got there, I was like, you know what? I'm having a good time.
Screw the show.
It's just not happening. Sorry, Charlie.
Well, no, it was okay. We put your head on a stick, and that was not on a pike, on a stick.
Actually, last week's show, I got to listen to it, and it was phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
You guys were definitely on your game, and the drill sergeants were great.
Weren't they? That was fantastic.
And the harmonicat.
Yeah.
That dude
he
was
real
something else. And hearing that little impromptu jam session that shouldn't have worked, but did.
Yep.
Come on, man.
It was Biranna coming back from the brink.
Yep.
She had.
Speaking of Biranna, she's not here right now.
No, she's a lazy girl. Lazy.
No, not really. Getting ready to go, right?
Yeah, she's in and out. I've called into her, and she's going to be here whenever she can. Yeah. If she can. So hopefully she shows up during this podcast. I'll keep pinging her.
Yeah.
See, that's the magic of voice. Nobody can see what I'm doing right now. I could be sending text messages. I could be watching YouTube.
Yeah, I see you surf the web every now and then. Yeah, we're talking about this. Oh, yeah, I got to get that right. So Arizona was fun.
That's cool.
Glad to be back. The wife was missing the cats big time, because it was just me and her. So,
Pro tip, Dave has cats.
Yeah. Oh, 4. All Persians. Actually, I always say it's a line from Pulp Fiction where Samuel L. Jackson says, my girlfriend's a vegetarian, so that kind of sort of makes me a vegetarian. Then he eats a big kahuna burger, right? Well, it's kind of like that with cats and me. My wife's a cat person, so that kind of makes me a cat person.
No, I know what that's like. My wife was a bird person.
Well, there you go.
And that has made me a bird person as well.
Yeah. And someday soon you will be a bird person again, maybe.
Well, maybe. We had to leave. We had a bird, a lovebird named Pooh.
P-U-U.
Yes, P-U-U.
Not P-O-O.
No, it was a much cuter spelling.
Right.
That we unfortunately had to leave in Japan because you try moving internationally with a parrot. You can't do it. There's just too many regulations.
Right.
It's just not feasibly possible to move from Japan with a parrot to
Unless
Texas.
you're an importer or something.
Yeah. Well, even then, we would have had to fly to New York and then put it in quarantine for a month.
Now, Pooh's a girl.
Yes, Pooh was a girl.
Okay. It's not it.
Well, her. Well, I was speaking in general of all parrots.
Okay.
But her would have to go into quarantine.
She.
Lord. The bird would go into quarantine, and then we'd have to leave and come here. Then 30 days later, fly back, pick it up, pay the doctor's fee, pay boarding and all that. And it's not cheap because it's government boarding.
Mm-hmm.
And then fly back here. And if that had been feasibly possible, a minimum cost would have been $10,000 to get the bird to Texas.
But you did find her a good home. Right?
Oh, yes. Yes, we had a friend who has a lot of birds who had looked after Pooh well, when we went on vacation and stuff. So Pooh is now there, getting along great, has bird friends, just probably totally forgotten about us. No.
So
that bastard.
But really, you had to leave her behind because of the expense.
No, and the logistics of it.
Right.
So when the government is moving you, which is what happened to us, moving from Camp Zama, Japan, to Fort Hood, Texas, they get total say over what airline you're flying, when, and everything. And there's only one route that you can take from Japan to Texas, and it doesn't go anywhere close to New York.
Right.
It's Japan to Dallas to Killeen.
Wow.
And the bird has to go through either New York or Miami.
Right.
So we would have had to pay for our own tickets, our own moving. I mean,
again, cost prohibitive.
It was cost prohibitive for us.
We are actually going to be discussing money.
That's right.
But this show, right?
But not parrots.
No, not parrots.
Although we already have discussed parrots.
We have. But we are going to be talking some money, right?
Money, money, money. Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk about it when? Right after this?
Yeah, right after this break, and where we'll have a surrogate in for Biranna.
Well, that's cool.
Barnes, get in here! And we'll have Barnes, and...
That's PFC Richard Barnes.
Yep.
7th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment.
Yes, not an actual barn.
No, not a barn.
A PFC Barnes.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll have him and all that right after
this.
With the theme, We Can Do It, and She Did, Fort Hood observes Women's History Month with an hour-long program at 11:30 a.m., March 19th in the Phantom Warrior Center. The event is hosted by the 3 Corps and 11 Tactical Signal Brigades Equal Opportunity Officers and features guest speaker retired Command Sergeant Major Jacqueline Fountain, the first female Command Sergeant Major in the U.S. Army's Chemical Corps, and is still serving today in the greater Fort Hood community as a member of the Harker Heights City Council. Stop by the Phantom Warrior Center March 19th at 11:30 a.m. as Fort Hood pays homage to Women's History Month, honoring the past, securing the future.
Hey everybody, PFC Kyra Pearl here. You might recognize me from being on Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. It was really great being on the podcast, but now that Biranna's back, well, they kicked me to the curb. Who wrote this?
Me, keep reading.
So, while I'm no longer in the know with the rest of the podcast gang, I'm still able to be on the cutting edge of Fort Hood news thanks to the Fort Hood Sentinel. That's Fort Hood's newspaper. You know, the one that comes out every Thursday.
I think that's Thursday.
But you typed the Fort Hood Sentinel comes out on Thursday.
Well, just keep reading.
They're an all-inclusive paper with something for everyone. You want Army news? They got it. Sports news? They got it. Health news? They got it. Kind of funny cartoons? They got it. Anything at all? They got it, baby. They got it.
No. Give me that. That's not the way you're supposed to read it. It goes like this. All right? They're an all-inclusive newspaper with something for everyone. You want Army news? They got it. Sports news? They got it. Health news? They got it. Kind of funny cartoons? They got it. Anything at all? They got it. Haven't you ever heard that song?
No.
Must be a generational thing. All right, we'll read the last part.
Okay. The Fort Hood Sentinel. Local news, sports, lifestyle, and even a crossword every Thursday. You got it.
No, you got it. Well, whatever. They got it.
It's me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. You're number one.
Down, left, right, brain. Start. Everybody say up, up, down, down, left, right, brain. Start.
And we're back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and Dave's back too.
Yeah.
Hail, hail, the gang's not here because Biranna isn't
Biranna
back.
is not.
No, she's actually gone missing. Well, she hasn't gone missing. I guess she's texted me. But that's a very 2020 thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Texted when a call could do.
Yeah.
I sent her a message. Hey, we're doing the show. Are you gonna be able to make it in time? And she was like, "Oh, is that today?" Yes. It's not like that's changed, Biranna. If you're listening, that's a cool thing about the podcast is we bend time.
Yes, we do.
Because you're not hearing this as I'm saying it. You're hearing it at some point in the future. It could be 6 months in the future.
Yeah, driving down the car.
It could be like National Archive. Somebody's listening to this in the year 2025.
Oh, scary.
2070, 3000. This is the best example of military journalism and broadcasting. This is what survived the apocalypse. And now people are stuck with this and they think, oh, that's what it was like. No, it's not. Nothing is like this.
Yeah, no.
Nothing.
No.
Is like this. So while Biranna isn't here right now,
somebody is keeping the seat warm.
Yeah, and that's where you're supposed to talk.
PFC Barnes.
What's your first name? PFC Barnes.
Richard.
PFC
Richard
Barnes. He is not a crook. His dog Checkers is not a crook. You know who that was, Barnes?
I have no idea.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably for the best.
Yeah.
So, Barnes, what brings you in today, other than the fact that we grabbed
I'm here to
you?
talk about finance.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
Money.
That was a segue. How is so you're PFC?
Yes.
How long have you been in?
Roughly 2 years.
2 years. So every time I say that, I think, and I brought this up before, Army talk is prison talk.
Yeah,
How long you been in? When you get
getting out?
What are you going to do when you're out? So you've been in roughly 2 years. Yes. How does Army pay and everything stack up to when you weren't in the Army?
I definitely made more money when I wasn't in the Army, but...
You have a bigger sense of pride now, right?
Yeah. I have a nice space to hang my hat. Nice place to go home to.
All right.
I didn't have that before, so...
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome. This is your first duty station.
It is.
That's pretty cool. So financially, and I don't want to get, too far into the weeds, but financially, at the end of the month, when you're done paying for stuff, do you have money left over?
I try to. Yeah.
I think that's what we all do.
Mm-hmm.
We try to. Well, we have a treat for you. Treat with quotes around that word. Treat for you because Miss Sylvia Gavin is here, and she is a personal financial readiness specialist.
Yes, I am.
And she's here to talk money, money, money.
Oh, yes, my favorite subject.
My first question for you is, how does one become a personal financial readiness specialist?
Oh, yeah, we were having that conversation.
Oh, is that right? Well, I guess you get hired by the Army Community Service.
Oh, my gosh. Hey. It's Biranna Dew.
Brianna Dew has made it.
We can't rag on her anymore. All right, let's... we're going to move here, folks. This is the magic of fake live podcasting. So, Biranna, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Very busy. Very busy.
How was your performance today?
My performance?
Weren't you doing some bandy stuff?
Yeah, some people are, but not me. I am
What
stuck.
was your excuse then?
I've been stuck in a room all day making sure people's gas masks work, and I'm the only one that can do it.
Does that involve a lot of beans?
Not beans, no. Just a lot of breathing and lighting candles, and yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Well, you're still with us, so the breathing part seems to have worked well. Well, we appreciate you going from your room into our room.
Yes, thank you.
It's very good to have you here. So this is Sylvia Gavin. She's a financial specialist.
Nice to meet you.
We're talking money.
Yay.
Yeah, it's a big fan. Everybody's a big fan of money.
Yes.
So, and the question I had asked her is, what's it take to be what you are?
Well, as a personal financial readiness specialist, I am hired from Army Community Service to help soldiers in dealing with their income, their expenses, their credit, their debt, their management, anything that's dealing with finance as far as outside of DFAS, the management of their money. And to become a personal financial readiness specialist, it's I guess one of the job titles that is listed in the financial readiness branch.
All right. So do you have to have like an accounting degree or a business degree or anything? I mean,
no, you don't have to have that degree, but you need to have the experience of case management, working with soldiers, counseling, a little bit of finance here or there. And a lot of it you may learn on the job. But I do hold a bachelor's degree in business and a MBA in human resource.
Wow, so you really are a specialist.
Yes.
All right, so what kind of cases do you see? I know you can't point fingers or anything, but in general, what is a common case that you have to deal with?
A common case may be, for instance, let's say PFC Barnes comes in and he may want to purchase a car. So what we will do with him is maybe sit down and do a budget with him and see what income that he has left in order to purchase a vehicle, and then try to work it out. Then we'll also take one more step, go to Kelley Blue Book. And with Kelley Blue Book, we'll look to see what type of car do you want, okay? And then we'll pull that up on Kelley Blue Book, see what the cost is of it, and then help him to see when can he purchase that car. Because even though you want a car, it might not be a perfect time for you to purchase a car, but we'll look at ways that we might be able to help you to do that.
So do you make people feel bad for spending their money?
I try not to.
Oh, okay.
I try to, to keep my feelings and emotions and my facial features to myself. It's like, okay, you spent what? Okay. In fact, there was a soldier that came in and he spent an astronomical amount of money on his hair. And I said, okay, all right. So then I had to leave that alone because he spent a lot of money on his hair. And you say a haircut is a haircut.
Well, yeah, that's kind of weird because soldiers got to have short hair.
That's true.
Did it look good?
Well, it did, but I could have found a better way for him to get what he was paying for.
But self-care is important too.
Oh yes,
says Biranna do.
That's so true. Yeah. But and I didn't scold him or just say, okay, well, he had enough money to do it. So if he had enough money to do it, I had no problem with it either.
All right.
What's the craziest budget you've seen like for what someone was spending, like $500 on like drinks, or what did you?
Biranna do straight to the drinks.
I know, right? Wow. Okay, so I wouldn't say drinks. I would say self-care is one of those items that a person would do. No. You know what soldiers spend most of their money on? Well, I shouldn't say all of them.
All right.
Y'all see my little quotation marks?
Yeah, we see them.
Okay, so it's eating out. They're eating up their future. They're eating up. Dining out is one of those that are way up there. And then I may say smoking or tobacco is one of the other uses.
Just in the younger generations, you said?
Most in the younger that I see.
Okay.
Because, where I would say, when I say tobacco, I say smoke, vape, dip, chew. So where it used to be, it just be smoking. But now we got smoking, dipping, chewing, vaping. There's so many things that you could spend your money on when you're using tobacco.
Well, the Army does preach diversity.
That's one way.
Yeah. Get all your options.
That's so true.
Hey, back to buying a car.
Mm-hmm. Did you just rip the microphone off the
stand?
stand?
Just rip the microphone off. That's terrible.
Dave's
I got a 20-year-old at home.
Yes.
And an 18-year-old, right? Both of them just bought cars in the area.
Okay.
Right. How difficult is it for a young soldier like PFC Barnes here to get a decent rate on a loan?
Well, the problem is most of our soldiers will go downtown without any, I call, supervision to purchase a vehicle. So we kind of catch them on the other side of it. So there are some good deals out there for you, PFC Barnes, if you were purchasing a car. But, we want them to come to us and do the budget first. But there are some good deals out there.
So we're assembling the microphone here. It's exciting, and we have failed in every possible way.
I guess it's going to be hanging in the wind.
It is. Well, we're Semper Gumby.
Dave can spend some more money on anger.
No, yet nobody can hear you. I turned your microphone off because we're screwing around with it. I do want to talk to you about something because we're talking about cars, and that is predatory lenders. And the Army has a big problem with that. We tend to kind of attract them.
Yes, that is so true. In fact, they're targeted. The Army, all of our soldiers are targeted. I think it has kind of died down a little, not a whole bunch, but it has died down a little because the Consumer Financial Protection Board has been on top of things trying to get to those predatory lenders. We've had maybe 2 in the area that have closed down. So I feel that once the information is out and the soldier is aware that that is one of those places, then they tend not to go there. So we try to push Army Emergency Relief.
All right. What is Army Emergency Relief? Tell us about that.
Army Emergency Relief is it's a nonprofit organization that will assist soldiers with any financial difficulties that they may have. There is some criteria that they do have for them. There's different categories. We have 2 programs. The first program is the Commander and First Sergeant Quick Assist Program, and with that program, the soldier is able to go in and get that fast money up to $2,000 with the Commander or First Sergeant's signature. Then we have what we call the Direct Access Loan, and with the Direct Access Loan, the soldier is able to come in to get more than $2,000. And with the more than $2,000, it takes the soldier can come in on their own if they have more than 12 months of service, and they have to get the Commander or First Sergeant signature if they have less than 12 months of service.
So in order to get a loan, do they have to qualify that loan first? Meaning, hey, I saw this cool, what do kids buy now, Brianna? Dun, dun, dun.
I'm trying to think what people like to buy now.
What's that game? The games. I say Game Boy, but they said they don't do Game Boys no more.
No, not since like 89.
Video games.
Yeah,
video
games.
So, okay, I saw this cool video game that for some reason costs $1,000 and I don't have $1,000. Can I tap into ACS to pad my expenses?
No, I tell everybody, look at the name, Army Emergency Relief.
Well, it's an emergency. I need to be playing this thing.
No, that's probably not our idea of an emergency relief. We're talking about assistance with maybe housing. If you need your first month rent and deposit where you have just come to Fort Hood, or let's say you need a car seat, or let's say a cranial helmet, emergency travel. Those are the type of things we're looking at.
I'm going to ask the layman question now for the folks out there. Not a lot of our listeners aren't necessarily in the military, or we reach everybody. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if I'm paying taxes and these taxes are paying my soldiers, why would they need emergency relief? Aren't they getting paid?
Because those things come up at a time that the soldier's not prepared for them. So if a soldier had an emergency fund already set up, if a soldier, had some savings set up where they're able to dip into that pot to take care of that emergency, then they wouldn't need Army Emergency Relief. But because they don't, or sometimes, or it's overwhelmingly more than what they have in those accounts, then that's where Army Emergency Relief comes in and helps them out.
Yeah, and I will say, the Army does require you to move a lot, and they do pay your moving expenses. The Army moved me here. I'm just a civilian, but the Army moved me here from Japan. Right. Even though they paid the airline ticket and all that and moving my household goods, I still had to be able to get a car, get a house, stock the fridge.
That's right.
You're starting from zero when you move with a lot of stuff. So as a civilian, if you take a new job someplace, it's not the same.
That's true.
So for Army Emergency Relief, where does the money come from?
It's come from a nonprofit organization. And in fact, we are in the Army Emergency Relief campaign season, where 1 March to 15 May, soldiers are able to give into the nonprofit agency. And with that, they're able to, let's say, put an allotment in for 12 months to give money. Everyone can give. The soldier can give, the contractor, the retiree, DOD employees. Everyone is able to give to the Army Emergency Relief so that we can assist those soldiers. Now, there are some times we're able to give grants too. So with the grants, the soldiers don't even have to pay it back. So depending on their situation, they're able to get a grant.
So it's a charitable contribution.
Yes, it is.
So can Joe Citizen out there I have no connection to the military whatsoever, but I want to help out my soldiers. Can they?
Most definitely.
How do they do that?
They can go to aerhq.org, and on that website, they're able to make a donation. And with that donation, it will run them through the steps in order to do so. You can use your credit card in order to give to AER. You can mail into AER. So there's so many ways that you're able to give into it.
Is it tax deductible? Do you know?
Yes, it is. It is tax deductible.
Great.
So.
Well, we're going to take that information. We're going to hang it on our Facebook page. So if anybody out there would like to donate, step up, just go there and click on the link and you'll be able to. Now, PFC Barnes, you have been really, really quiet.
He has.
Please share your thoughts on finances with us.
I'm the wrong person to speak on finances.
Well, why is that?
He need to come see me.
Why is that?
Do you have a budget?
No, not at all.
Oh,
I just recently
man.
started building my credit. So.
All right. Well, how old are you?
That's why he's here.
I'm 21.
21. Well, when I was 21, I was in the same exact boat. I wouldn't say I had like a good grasp on finances until I was much older. I mean, really, it took a lot of experience and it took a lot of falling on my face for me to figure out what to do with the money I had and what I shouldn't be doing.
I call that discipline. Oh, I love it. I love it.
It's called adulting.
Yes, that's
keeping
true.
yourself accountable.
But you know that, Barnes, that skill, the saving, the building the credit, it takes time and it's a learned thing. So you shouldn't feel bad that maybe you're not good with finances or that you don't have great credit. You will over time.
And in fact, we have a credit booster class. It's held every second Tuesday at the Shoemaker Center. And this is a class where you're able to come in and learn a little bit more about credit. We'll help you with, the ins and outs of what credit is. We'll even pull up your credit report and analyze it for you if you have one. Because, most times soldiers that don't have any established credit don't have a credit report, okay?
Yes,
a credit score. So we'll help you to establish credit by looking at the different ways that you're able to do so, maybe like a secured credit card or a secured loan or something like that. But we'll give you some tips on how you can establish that credit.
When I first tried to get a car loan at 19, I'd never had a credit card because I'd like in my head, I'm like, oh, credit cards are evil. Like I can't do it. And now I don't see them as terrible. I think if you're really disciplined and you know the ins and outs of the system, like you mentioned, then you can use it to your advantage. But, when you're relying on the impulse buying or just, on wants instead of needs, like it's really easy to lose focus and to lose track. And that's why I feel like people like you are really great because you can help keep people accountable and have that like reminder like, oh, I need to, be more disciplined with my finances and take control of my life now. So in the future, I'll be set and secured and I people can take comfort in that fact, but I think people lose, it's hard to see the bigger picture especially when you're in the now.
That's
yeah. So. One of the things I ask myself when I'm making a purchasing decision on something is this something that I want or something that I need?
Perfect
and
questions.
I've found that the more I've asked myself that question, the less stuff I buy. Because we really do live in a consumer-based society.
Yes, it is.
Where we're buying stuff all the time.
Hail capitalism.
The time. When I first came to Japan for the Army and had my house set up, the neighbors wanted to come over and meet the American. So I showed them the house, and one of the things that just astounded them was the fact that I had a shelf with CDs in it. And they were like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, that's my CD collection." Why would you ever want to have that many CDs? So I can listen to them. But in Japan, you wouldn't have a bunch of CDs. You wouldn't have a DVD collection or anything like that. It's totally different. And seeing that point of view has, in a way, helped me realize that I don't have to have stuff. Because what I found for myself personally was I owned a lot of stuff, and that's all it was. It sat on a shelf, and I could say, look at this stuff that I have, but I didn't do stuff with it. It just sat there and got dusty.
The American way.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, were you trying to impress people with it, or did you just have it because it gave you enjoyment and you were happy to have a piece of it, like a part of your identity.
That's a good question. I think I had it because it just made me feel good to have it.
See, I feel that's more healthy than people that just buy things to impress.
Yeah, but then I don't do anything with it. I did go through that period of time where I had friends, so you bought the stuff so that you can invite your friend over to say, hey, look what I got.
Right.
And then, you never touch it
I can
again.
speak to that a little bit. I collect DVDs and things because a lot of them have like the special features and stuff that you can't get anywhere else. So sometimes there are benefits to buying things.
Yes, of course.
No, and I'm not saying that there's not and that you shouldn't buy stuff, but I think it can get out of hand.
I'm obsessed with this company called NECA. They do like lifelike movie memorabilia, like a Predator that looks a little bit more real than like the one you'd find at Target, but it's like a $200.
Oh, cool.
Oh, boy.
So I would look at it. Okay, so will it increase in value later on?
Yeah, is it an investment or?
Yeah, because they only make like 200 copies of them.
Oh,
or something,
okay.
And you have to buy it like right away or else you won't have it ever.
Okay, so yeah, I can understand that a little.
So
I can't.
Is that where
She's like cringing so hard over there.
is that where
y'all's
the
purchasing?
Is that where the PFC Barnes paycheck goes to? If I was to,
I try not to. I've gotten better, but yes.
All right. Well, I mean, we all got to have our thing. If you don't have anything, that's kind of sad.
And you know what's the greatest thing about the thing? If you budget for it. If you put it in your budget to say, this is the thing that I like and I want to make sure I have enough money for it, it shouldn't harm you at all.
Goal-oriented savings.
Yes.
I think it's great to indulge yourself, but to make sure that, you know, you're pulling the reins in, you know, that you stick to it.
That's right.
Is there any other questions anybody has for this lady? Is something that's screwed up financially? You need to get untangled? Anything?
Do y'all have a website?
Can you fix the economy?
Oh, I wish I could. I've been trying to pull my books out so I can, but you know, they don't give me all the numbers that I need to try to look at that.
The numbers are changing day by day right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they really are.
I do want to add that our classes are on the first and third Wednesday, budget debt management, 0930 to 1100 hours. And the credit boosters that same day, first and third Wednesday, 1330 to 1500 hours, and the second Tuesday, 1330 to 1500 for our savings and investing, because we do talk to them about savings and investing as well. And one of the things we want them to do is save and invest. One of the things I think that the blended retirement, when it came on board, helped our soldiers to realize is that they need to prepare for retirement. And if that had never come forth, no one was really looking at it. So I think this is very important, and hopefully soldiers are looking at the things that they're doing financially so that they will be able to be prepared for the future.
All right. Fantastic.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, this is my joy. Talk about money. I'm there.
Hey, it's been fun. I could actually go on and on with this, to be honest.
I could too, actually.
Me too.
I'm fascinated.
What about you,
by it.
Barnes? Are you?
This has all been really overwhelming.
I like to ask people like what they spend their money on, you know, because I feel like
like you're nosy.
No, not because I'm nosy, because like you learn so much about a person by what they're interested in, like the hobbies, like what they choose to spend their money on, and I think it's just so fascinating. Like it's really cool to me.
Yes.
That's great. And on that note, we are going to head to a break, and when we come back, we've got knee replacement surgery. Well, no, we don't. That sounds like we're getting knee replacement. We just have doctors talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Yeah.
Biranna,
you have something to tell me?
You don't. I was going to say you don't look as excited about that. I'll tell you, there's some retirees out there that ears perk knee replacement surgery.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I do have one alibi.
Okay,
and
what's
I
that?
know we're
What's
going to
that?
come back in April and talk about it, but I want to put it on your mind right
All
now.
right, plant that
Military Saves is coming up in April, the whole month of April. So look for our flyers. We're looking for you to pledge to save, invest, and build wealth over time. So if you want to, you can get a heads up on that by texting 877-877, and it will give you information about whatever you've requested in investing, saving, or building wealth over time. So just to put that in for right now.
well, that's great.
That's great.
You know, we got to have you in to record some radio spots
Yeah,
for the
she's really
podcast.
great.
You're good at
I'm
this.
ready.
I know.
You're really good at
Do
this.
y'all have a website?
For this
Well, either for that
in
or
general,
the,
I think she means.
No, just the ACS website, and all of
Okay.
our information is on the ACS website, which you can get off the Fort Hood website.
Yes.
Go to ACS, go to Financial Readiness Branch. We even have a car buying, PowerPoint on the on our website, so you
Yay,
can go in and get
PowerPoint.
information. But it's real fun, PowerPoint.
Okay. And with that, we'll be right back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me.
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level down, level up, level up. Yummy, bummy, tummy, gin rummy, gumby.
Plumber the Sock, what are you doing?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Do you see any other socks around here?
Well, you've got to do on your feet.
I don't care about the socks on my feet. What was that song?
Oh, I'm just getting ready for the big Sahara concert on March 19th.
You mean Sierra?
Yeah, Sinara. Like, I'm her totally biggest fan.
Well, Sock, if you're prepping for the Sierra's March 19th concert at Fort Hood Stadium, you've got a lot of work to do.
Explain.
The concert's free, but only open to DOD and Veterans Health ID card holders,
Okay.
so it's exclusive.
Ooh,
And
okay.
even though the concert's at 6:30 p.m., doors open at 5:30, so you might have to get in line early. And what are you doing?
Working practice.
Do not sit next to me during the concert.
Work it, Steve.
I do not know you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me.
There's an old Bob Dylan tune we're going to do for you. Don't need to hear this much anymore.
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. Your tax dollars at work.
That's my flute playing.
Okay. That was better than the one time you did it.
Hey,
Hey, speaking truth to power.
I disagree.
The gang is back.
Yeah.
Yes.
The band is back.
The band. We got the band back together again.
Yes, we did. We are banded together, you could say.
A band of brothers and a girl.
Yes.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're heading out the door soon too, though, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
That's no fun.
Yeah, because you just got here
I know.
in the middle of the last segment.
Yes. Well, and I was just realizing this morning that today is the 1-year anniversary of my first performance as a member of the CAV.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that, Biranna. Do
We did a parade
You
that
know what?
almost
Never
got
mind.
canceled.
Never mind.
There was some juicy details, though.
Juicy details.
Yes.
Oh, dish, girlfriend.
So we form up on the bridge, right? Because we were in Austin, and we see in the parade that there was a bunch of Confederate flags.
Uh-oh.
And there was
What's a millennial to do?
Well, there was a float of I guess it was, I don't remember their exact name, but it was like the Sons of Confederacy or something
Sure,
like that.
because, Texas was a Confederate state.
Yes. But there was also another group there that was like, that clashed with them. So
Was it the Confederate Sucks group?
I believe, well, maybe not that terminology,
Oh, okay.
but yes. And they were actually like yelling. They had microphones, and it was a form of protest. And we almost got pulled. Like we were standing
This was
there.
last year?
It was.
Wow.
We were standing there about ready to go, and our commander told us that he was on the phone with another higher ranking officer, and he had to decide if we had to literally like step out during the parade, which we were all confused because I've never seen a band quit mid parade, but if we're not supposed to be there, they were worried about us representing that part of the parade. So we were going to turn off, but then we were afraid that if we turned off, the parade behind us would follow us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I saw
awesome.
that in Animal House.
Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But it was okay. We ended up playing the whole thing, and they yelled at us when we went by. And,
Did they?
Well,
The protesters.
the
In
protesters.
a positive way? Did they sometimes
No.
like USA?
No.
USA.
No, it
Probably
was not positive.
FUSA, right?
Yeah, so they just
Yeah.
basically didn't like anybody.
They were pretty heated, and Yeah, it was. I wasn't ever nervous, but it was almost kind of funny because they seemed so angry. It was like, and it was like 7 a.m. on like a Sunday.
It's too early to be angry.
It's too early.
Have a donut.
Yeah. And then the people that were not the Confederate, they're like, oh, you lost. You need to go home. And like, I mean, they were literally going at it.
They're like, we are home. We live in Texas. We're from Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, their rhymes were catchy. I wish I remember what they were saying, but it was amusing.
Dave, coughing, coronavirus? Yes, no.
Yeah, right.
All right.
So we heard about the field trip to Austin last year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now you get to do a field trip to Europe.
Yes.
Yay.
Another field trip.
What a fantastic time to be going. I hear they got snow.
Yes. Where we're going got 1.5 feet of snow a couple days ago.
Wow.
Nice.
So you'll have to bring your flute warmers.
Can you ski?
Yes. No, probably not. I think we'll have to work a lot.
If you tried to play the flute when it was really cold, would your lips just stick to it, like in A Christmas Story?
I would hope not. But I do lick my lips when I play.
I
That'd
think
be
it would.
a problem, yeah.
I think it would. Unfortunately, it doesn't get cold enough here in Texas for us to attempt that.
Mm-hmm. I'm more worried about the brass players getting it stuck because they have more contact. Mm-hmm. So.
And the guys that got the spit release. You know,
that
would freeze
I've
in
seen
there.
it. Yeah, I've seen it get frozen before.
I know there's a lot of Army calls and stuff, you know, right face, left face, forward march. Is there like spit release in the band?
No, but there should be. We need to put that in our TMs now.
That should be. You can create a new bugle call for that.
Yeah. We do have stick taps to do that whenever we're on the field.
Mm-hmm.
We have like little stick taps where people can blow out their spit.
What is a stick tap?
It's just, when you hear people, when you're marching, you just hear like the one tap. That's what it is. It's not a drum roll when you're rolling the sticks on the drum. The tap is just the single marching style. Left, left, right, left, but with a stick.
Okay.
So we have different stick taps to indicate, oh, this is a rest time, or, you need to get your horns back up.
Get your horns up, everybody.
Yeah, because the people the tubas and the bass, they have to take them. They take them off because it's very heavy. And when we're on the parade field for a long time, it wears on their backs.
How much would you say like a tuba weighs?
I don't.
Just guess. I'm not like.
I would say
50 pounds.
Not 50.
No,
not even 50.
Maybe 25.
Wow, can you imagine what it would be like to be running around the battlefield with 25 whole pounds of weight on you?
Whoa.
Or sappy plates. They were like 70, weren't they? When you had a whole battle rattle on, it was like 70 pounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do that.
So,
the musicians always would die because they wouldn't have a weapon. So
what?
Throw the tuba at them.
Yeah.
You run out of notes and then you take off the tuba and throw it at them.
The drummers and the fifers, they had no chance. I'm glad we don't do that.
That was kind of a lousy career choice back then.
I know, it really was. Because you can't do anything.
You really had
Same
to
for
be,
the flag holder. If
you had to be dedicated to music.
Yeah. But you weren't dedicated for very long.
No.
Back then.
Yeah, but the drummers back then were little kids.
Yeah, that's true.
So they were harder to hit because they're smaller targets.
Exactly.
Yes. Life hack.
Avoid
Avoid bullets.
Speaking of getting shot in the war, or not, our next segment is pretty interesting. It deals with wear and tear on the body, which I guess isn't necessarily being shot.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it does deal with wear and tear that soldiers sustain while they're out and about doing what they do.
Are you broken?
Not yet. Well, mentally.
Okay. They can't fix that.
No, they can't. They can't. No amount of candy bars in the world will fix what's in my brain.
That's true.
That's true. So we have some interesting people that are making real headway in making sure soldiers can stay mobile.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That just sounds like something that I don't want to partake in. at this moment.
What? Staying mobile? What is that? Your segue to leaving?
Yes.
That was horrible.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want to talk about that, so I'm leaving.
Okay. Let me try something else then.
Okay.
Not.
Nice try.
What she's trying to say is that Biranna will not be here for this next interview because she's got to go out and do some stuff.
Yes.
But she will be back before the end. Yes. So, Biranna, we'll allow you to take your leave.
Why, thank you.
Try to be back on time next time. And we'll go to break and come back with some pretty cool knee surgeons.
Yay.
Yay. Yay for knees.
Hey golfers, are you looking for a new course to play? The Courses of Clear Creek is a 27-hole course with challenging greens located in the scenic rolling hills of Fort Hood. With a 300-yard driving range, 2 putting greens, and a 4-hole kids course, we're the premier golf course in Central Texas. Our pro shop is always stocked with the latest golfing equipment and name brand apparel, while our beautiful pavilion overlooking the course is a great place to enjoy a cold beverage. The Courses of Clear Creek, open to the public, offering annual, monthly, and summer membership packages. Give us a call today at 254-287-4130 or find us on the web at hood.armymwr.com.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Charles, do you remember back in January when we were talking New Year's resolutions?
God bless it. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Why?
Been hitting the road much?
No.
Why not?
I'm a lazy fellow.
Last year, I put on a lot of weight when my knee blew out, and it was not good, right?
I can't imagine how that would be good. But, blowing out your knee.
Yeah.
You were in the Army. That's kind of common.
Actually, that's not the first time I've done it. I did it in Baghdad. I did it on Battalion Avenue here while I was in uniform. Hit the wrong pavement, and it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Unit runs, I hate them. Or I hated them.
Well, who does?
Yeah.
It's like, unit run. Oh, yeah.
So with that in mind, we do have 2 guys from the Carl R. Darnell Army Medical Center who are actually into replacing knees, right?
That's right.
We have Major Nick Sylvester and Major Ryan Sig. And tell us a little bit about what you guys do, Major Sylvester.
Yes, I am the Chief of Diagnostic Radiology at Cordamsey. I handle basically all the medical imaging that comes through our department. And we get the opportunity to look inside of a human being without needing to use a knife.
Wow.
That's really cool. X-ray glasses.
Yeah. And
And
I
you, sir?
use a knife.
There you go, Major Sig.
I look right at it. So I'm Major Sig, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon here at the hospital.
Okay.
So,
And we're going to talk about knee and hip replacement surgeries.
yeah.
And suddenly, all the millennials turned the podcast off, and all us old folks turned it way up and leaned into that speaker.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We're half deaf.
Yeah, that's no joke. So there's something new. Oh, now I can hear out of both ears.
See, I said we're half deaf.
I get the bad headset. Sorry. No, in and out. All right. So tell us about the hip and knee replacement surgeries you guys are doing now.
Okay.
At the hospital.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of total hip and knee replacements now. About 5 years ago, the hospital had only done about 100 in the entire history of Cordamsey.
Mm-hmm.
We've done about 400 or 500 since that time. So we're increasing our total hip and knee replacements. We have a fellowship-trained total joint surgeon. We have the new robot that we're talking about today, which helps us do these knee and hip replacements perfect almost every single time.
Wait, a robot? That's very 21st century. Tell me about this robot.
Exactly.
Right. So with total joint replacements, traditionally you do a total joint replacement. You look at the x-rays ahead of time, talk to the patient. They have arthritis, which is very debilitating, very painful. A lot of military people get arthritis. You were joking before that, running and deploying and ruck marching, really wears and tears the knees and hips.
Right.
So even those young people listening out there, they may need to know someday that they may need that.
This is coming for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yep. Exactly. Basically, when you traditionally do a knee replacement, you look at x-rays, which is a two-dimensional, picture of the knees, and you try to plan the surgery based in 2 dimensions. With the robotic surgery, we now plan the surgery in 3 dimensions. So Major Sylvester in radiology gets a CT scan for the patient, and he maps out the bones around the joint of the knee and hip. And with that information, we can take that model of a knee or a hip and tailor-make a joint replacement for each individual patient. Whereas traditionally, we would open the joint and we'd put on jigs and we'd pin in things and lick our finger and, try to figure out where to make the bone cuts. And now we have all that information ahead of time.
We're doing a lot more of them now. Is that because we need them, or this is just the better option?
It's a good option. Yes, it's a very good option. Once the cartilage in the knee is worn down, doing your typical scope surgery that you've heard about, the poke holes, it's just not going to put the cartilage back on the knee.
Right.
So
on the diagnostic end, how do you know for typical, somebody comes in there, their knee's blown out, they're having a lot of pain. How long does it, what's the process? What do they have to go through to get to the point where the robot is now working on them?
Yeah, so typically what people will end up doing is they'll get radiographs that will give the orthopedist and the radiologist an idea of how much osteoarthritis there is in the knee,
right,
or the hip for that matter. And then as the patient goes through conservative management with physical therapy or with anti-inflammatories, rest and ice, all the typical things that soldiers will get, once that fails over and over again, the question starts to get posed, hey, do we need to get a replacement? Do we need to get a total knee or a total hip in to help relieve the pain that the patient is enduring?
Your typical patient for these, are they retirees? Is this the retiree community that's most of the replacements?
Most of the replacements are people just about to get out of the Army or retirees or dependents. But we are getting more and more patients in their 30s with arthritis of the knee,
right?
With no other option.
Right.
We've tried all the conservative measurements to include arthroscopy surgery, cartilage restoration, and they failed all those types of surgeries.
Right.
And it's sad that people that young need a joint replacement, but it is what it is, and they need the pain relief so they can live their lives. And I've had people get back to deployment after joint replacements.
So they can replace a joint in your body, and it's not a career ender.
It's not, not now, especially with the new robotic surgery. Traditionally it was a career ender. People couldn't get back to the fight.
Right.
But now we have people walking up and down stairs the same day as surgery. The knee joint is extremely stable. The hip joint's extremely stable, and they really like it.
Would you say that these replacements make people better, stronger, faster?
Oh, yeah. They're like Wolverine after it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, though I don't think they can guarantee the adamantium aspect.
Well, I think the cost is too high for the U.S. government. They'd never fit that bill.
Yeah. We just use regular titanium, Yeah.
So what's the youngest age of someone that you've done a replacement surgery for?
37.
37. Wow. That's younger than me.
You look so young.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's just because of the lack of hair. You look young too.
I know. You've got the same haircut. Yeah.
So for these surgeries, what's it like to be inside someone's knee? You've got their knee open and you're working. What's it like?
Awesome. You have complete control of this person's, livelihood right now. Everyone is in tune to what the surgeon's doing, with the anesthesiologist, the scrub technicians, the physician assistants, and we just all work together.
So it's almost like music.
There's music in the background.
Well, I say music because everybody's working in concert.
Yes.
Towards the same goal. They know what they're
exactly.
It's music.
Yeah, and we high five at the end of the cases for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really neat.
I'm sure the people want to high five you when they can operate pain free.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
after all.
How long is that procedure?
Depends on the patient.
Typically.
Yeah, but on average, it's about 90 minutes for a knee or hip replacement.
90 minutes?
The surgery part, yeah.
Wow. That's amazingly fast.
That is fast.
That's with the robot?
That's with the robot.
Wow.
I'm a little bit faster with the robot.
Wow. I can't even wrap my head around that. 90 minutes.
Do you ever feel competition with the robot?
I do a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm so confident with how the robot helps me. It makes me a better surgeon that it's just unbelievable.
Now, these replacements, hip and knee, how long do they last?
So again, it's kind of like tires on a car. If you buy new tires on a car, it's not usually the years that matters, it's the miles. So the more miles you put on them, the less it's going to last. The nice thing about the robotic surgery is when you get a nice tire rotation every 5,000 miles and align your tires, they last longer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it in right the first time, it's going to last a really long time. And that's one of the things that is very important for joint replacements.
So you said it's custom made now with the robot.
Mm-hmm.
So before, when you had to figure out everything sort of after you got in there,
mm-hmm.
I have to imagine doing a replacement to the replacement was a little difficult because, I mean, it was kind of piecemeal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When this way, you've already got their data. You already know the size it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be. It's almost like in and out.
Yeah, it is. I do this surgery virtually in virtual space before I actually make a bone cut.
Oh, that's
the
amazing.
surgery is done. Like I that's my joke. As soon as we're done with the virtual surgery, I'm like, all right, we're done. Wow. Bring in the robot, and they just make the saw cuts, and that's it.
That is amazing.
That is so next level amazing.
Cool.
With the advancements in technology and what we're able to do with imaging nowadays, it really allows for us to get such a great precision on the minutia or the small elements of your body, so that we can have, like Major Sig was saying, we can have a 3-dimensional reformat of your knee rather than the 2-dimensional that has been going on for the last few decades.
Right. We have 1 millimeter accuracy now. Before, it was me kind of moving the knee after I put a trial in, and, again, kind of licking my finger. Is this the right, tightness? Is this the right balance?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the robot, I actually see objective numbers on the screen, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and I can dial that down.
Oh, wow.
To perfect, yeah.
Well, so Dave, with all your knees being blown out, does this seem like something that you're interested in? Can I offer you a knee replacement surgery?
No, not yet.
I think that would make a great podcast.
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
Dave coming out of anesthesia,
right,
on the podcast.
I'm just gonna run slow, and then till I can't run at all. Yeah, no. What about catastrophic, casualties where someone's can you rebuild someone that you don't have that imaging to start with?
Well, I think what you're getting at is someone has a catastrophic injury from an IED and their bone is just shattered.
Right. This
is actually one of the reasons to use the robot.
Okay.
Because we're getting that 3-dimensional model of their bone, and your typical, 2-dimensional x-rays are not going to give you all that detail.
Right.
So now we use that model to do the surgery perfectly, whereas before it's real. Those are really difficult cases.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because the guy that I had met that had hip replacement was being put out of the military because he couldn't serve anymore.
Right.
And metal in there and he had a couple of surgeries afterwards because there was complications.
Right.
This eliminates all that, right?
This really decreases those complications.
Okay.
Yes.
To me, that's the most important thing that this brings to the table is taking care of the warfighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Those patients that are scared to have surgery, for a knee or joint or hip replacement, they can feel confident they're going to have a really good joint replacement.
Old farts like me, that's great, but that's really why you're here.
Right.
And we thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Truly.
Absolutely. Is it possible that we can get the robot in here for an interview?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just got to wheel him in here.
So it's tax season, everyone's favorite holiday. Hopefully everyone's present is a large sum of money. However, if you're bad at math like I am, the Fort Hood Tax Center has your back. With educated and friendly staff, they are sure to get you the most of your refund. The FHTC will be open from January 21st through April 16th, with business hours being 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday and Friday, and 9:30 a.m. through 7 p.m. on Thursdays. For information on how the FHTC can help you, make a call to 254-288-7995. Make your appointment today. FHTC located on 52nd and Support, Building 13.
What is Fort Hood? It's a community made up of those who serve and have served. Soldiers, civilians, we all play our part.
Okay, did that get your attention? No? How about this?
Attention newly arrived soldiers and family members here at the Great Place. Fort Hood hosts the Soldier and Family Newcomers Orientation each and every Wednesday from 8:15 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Club Hood.
There's free on-site childcare available, a free seminar for spouses, and even a free lunch. Besides all that free stuff, newcomers receive useful information about key community programs and services available to them here at the Great Place. Are you new to Fort Hood and need to know more? Call 254-287-7438. That's 254-287-7438. Oh yeah, and welcome to the Great Place.
Welcome home.
Coming on strong on Monday.
I don't know what he says after that.
That's because he always fades it out.
It won't be long till one day.
Oh, that's right.
Does he do the entire week through that song?
I think so. I think he does.
I can't see, it won't be long till you'll stay away from me.
And we got to listen to that whole thing one of these days.
He's actually, Will Courtney is going to be in concert in Austin here coming up.
South by Southwest?
No, at 310 Club.
Okay.
Oh.
And I was actually thinking of getting tickets. Yeah.
I've heard their food is good. At least I saw it on a website.
The 310 Club?
Yeah.
They don't have food there.
Really?
No, it's a open venue. There's no real seating. There's a bar. You
Maybe it was
stand
the
around.
bar.
It's one of those that the stage is pretty much 3 inches above the floor, so you're there with the band. You know, it's very intimate.
Cool. When's he playing?
He is playing March somethingth.
Oh, that's great promo for the guy.
Oh, hey,
right?
sorry, Will. There.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the phone.
mean, since you brought it up, you know,
I'm pulling
give
up,
the guy a
I'm
plug,
Googling
Charles.
as fast as I can.
Austin has a great music scene.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Well, the whole South by Southwest Fest is 13 to 22 March. So
okay.
You're going to miss it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be there.
He is playing Will Courtney.
There you go.
If you like our music, the music that he plays, that
Yes.
intro song, and then the
very
one
good.
going into this.
Yeah.
We'll be at the 310 Club on March 27th in Austin, Texas, and tickets are available now.
Nice.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah, got to get his autograph.
Charlie,
we're gonna have
you
him.
should go.
We're going to have him on the show at some point.
Absolutely.
Oh,
At
that'll
some
be
point,
great.
he'll do a live set.
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
Making promises I have no way of.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he'll do a live set for us here. So
that would be awesome.
we will wait for a momentous occasion for that, though.
So the great music scene.
Yes.
And you're going to be taking the great music scene on the road, right?
No, actually.
You're
No.
You're not going to play when you go to Europe?
No, we're not bringing our horns.
Oh, man.
We're not allowed to. The general does not want us to.
Well,
have
it's a
them.
good thing a flute isn't a horn.
Well,
It's a woodwind.
yeah, I'm excited for the new opportunities, and I'm still nervous just because it's unknown and
Well, yeah, it's
a lot
a
of
deployment.
variables.
Well, you haven't seen snow for a while. Maybe you'll get to see some of the German countryside.
I hope so.
See some of the culture.
Yes.
You know, you did the overseas thing, but Europe is an entirely different animal.
Yes. I'm
excited.
excited.
It is fun. It is fun.
I'm excited to try the food. That's not like my number one thing that I like to do is the food and the culture.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, but I mean, what will you guys do without me? How will you carry on?
We will have Pearl. Remember her?
Yes.
She's like the fake Biranna.
Yeah.
Like her stand-in. She's our fake crab legs to the real thing. Whitefish.
She is kind of your mini-me because, you know.
Yeah, she's very small.
Now, we'll have a variety of fill-in persons, but while they may be able to fill your seat, none of them will be able to fill our hearts.
Aww.
That's so
sweet, isn't it?
Thank you.
And with that, I think we're going to have to bid everyone adieu.
Okay. Oh, what's the German word for bye?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Dankeschleifen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Zane. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Everybody.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
I'm trying.
Right,
Ciao, Bella.
You got a final thing?
Oh, don't go to Italy.
Topical.
Pouting.
Welcome to the army.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye, everyone, and goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Biranna do. Okay. Lord, just make it stop.
I'm trying.